because we exposing players. As I said, we're using the 2 matches to widen the pool and also to give players a run out in preparation for the World Cup.
The likes of Jabari, Mitchell, Brent, Sam, and Int'l coming in today in particular, players who we haven't seen in a bit. What are you looking forward from those guys?
Well, Int'l has been really good for Prisons FC. Jabari playing very well, so they've been doing well and deserve a call-up. And they're young kids, although they haven't played for a while, they're still, in the 20s. So this is another opportunity for them to stake a claim for a pick.
Good luck in this match.
Cheers, okay.
10 changes, including a change of keeper. Liu Chin, what do you make of what Coach Angus Eve had to say?
Yeah, well, I agree with him. It's all about seeing what talent you have available. There's a lot of talent in Trinidad and Tobago football right now, so he's getting them experience and seeing how best he can pick a strong team going into those qualifiers.
Well, Coach Jamal Shabazz, one of our very own, but let's hear about your thoughts on his comments.
Well, he's certainly ready to get his pieces going. I tell you what, we've got the red shirts, we've got the yellow shirts, the grass is green. It's time to go.
And it's an amazing night here at the Hazy Crawford Stadium. When we come back, Trinidad and Tobago versus Guyana in this international friendly.
SportsMax's coverage of the Olympic Games is brought to you by Suzuki and BCIC.
Welcome to the Eternal City. Welcome to Rome for one of the best outdoor clay court tournaments, the Internazionale Biennale d'Italia, and it's on the SportsMax app. Your game, your way. Get the SportsMax app today.
The Hazy Crawford Stadium welcomes us for this international friendly. Trinidad and Tobago coming up against Guyana. Well, we was somewhat separated really by just a couple of miles on the southern coast of Trinidad and Tobago on the South American Peninsula. The Golden Jaguars have made the journey across the Trinidad and Tobago to get some experience. Well, familiar face in Trinidad and Tobago, Jamal Shabazz, now the head coach of Guyana, fourth stint in charge of the Golden Jaguars, and one of the men responsible for one of the 2 defeats against his home country. Fans in Trinidad and Tobago might remember that all the way back in 2011, rooting them out of World Cup contention. And a look at the contenders, fresh new faces, all eager and ready to impress that man in black, Angus Eve, who will be using these games as preparation for the Nations League and World Cup qualification. Well, James Orders is my name, alongside Leo Chin today for this one. And Leo, we saw the last match against Guyana, 2-1 for Trinidad and Tobago. The 16th win for Trinidad and Tobago against Guyana. Your thoughts?
Well, it seems as if a rivalry is not only in the cricket but developing in the football as well. I'm not sure if an international friendly is the best way to fuel a rivalry, but good win for Trinidad and Tobago. It is a friendly, but still an opportunity for Angus to see, as we mentioned in the build-up, what pieces he has, how best he could build his squad. For Jamal Shabazz, I think, you know, he wouldn't be too disappointed with the loss. Nothing really on the line, but for him as well, he's able to get his players to get some international experience and see how he could go forth into these qualifiers.
Well, a look at the cast that will entertain us for the next 90 minutes. The Soca Warriors decked out in their white kit. And the cast of referees that, well, their job will really be to call this match to order. The Golden Jaguars wearing the green with the gold stripe. And these boys ready to impress their coaches. All eyes on them. It's up to them. Appreciation for the boys in green as the national anthem of Grenada is just sounded. A loud roar of appreciation from the partisan crowd here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium to support the Soca Warriors Trinidad and Tobago as they face off against Guyana. And of course the pleasantries between the players as we will make the introductions very soon.
Number 6, Darren Niles. Number 9, Anthony Smith. Number 11, Benjamin. Number 14,
Aaron Int'l getting the return to national duty, former national youth keeper, being selected for the second friendly. And, well, those men will be expected to dictate law and order. Timothy Derry will be the man in the middle with the whistle. Ainsley Rochard, Karen Myers, and Andrew Samuel, the South Referee of the Year, will be the four men in charge of this one. And how about we meet the players? Lots of changes for the Golden Jaguars from the team that lost 2-1 just a couple of days ago here in Port of Spain.
Number 10, Wade Buckets. Number 14,
So Jermaine Cumberbatch will be in goal. Look out for Mohammed, a man who can wear the flag of both Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago. Niles getting a pick in the lineup. He scored 11 goals this season in Guyana. And look out for Kelman. He's had experience in the MLS.
Yeah, of course, I see the formation there for Guyana. 3-5-2 formation with Kelsey Benjamin on top, of course, scoring in that game on Monday as well. So pretty compact from the Guyanese. They'll be looking to shut it down in the midfield against the Trinidad and Tobago team.
And for the Soca Warriors, Int'l, as mentioned, will start in goal. Justin Garcia, He's got some experience in there. Isaiah Garcia of the Defense Force getting a pick today. Chevronez Hamilton playing just his second international for Trinidad and Tobago. Michel Poon Angeron, Dwayne Mockett, and Jabari Mitchell will command midfield with Goddard, and Brent Sam will lead the attack.
Yeah, well, a lot of familiar names in this lineup, of course, as we mentioned, James. It's going to be a controlling midfield for Trinidad and Tobago. The likes of Goddard, Poon, and chemistry that Mockett and Poon have especially. And, of course, Brent Sam on top there to finish it off for the Trinbagonians.
Stage is set and the cast members ready. These teams have met several times over the years. Just 2 wins for the Golden Jaguars. 7 draws, 16 wins for the Soca Warriors in what is their 10th friendly international. In fact, they've played 14 friendlies, 5 World Cup qualifiers, 3 Caribbean Cups, and 2 Gold Cups. Times they've met before in competition. All eyes on that man, Timothy Derry. Whose eyes is on that man, who will give the official countdown to the start of this friendly international here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. It's Guyana against the Soca Warriors, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, well, I expect it to be an interesting one, James. I mean, again, we said players just feeling it out. The coaches getting to see how their players are adapting, especially for the Guyanese flying out. He mentioned that they have some encounters in South America later down in the year, so definitely some good experience for them to get that exposure, especially the ones who aren't accustomed playing overseas.
Largely local-based squad for both these teams. Just 3 players based abroad for Guyana in the lineup today. Well, look at that, ambitious, but Int'l sees it fly over the top, and that will be a goal kick. The majority of this Guyanese team, 16 players, come from the top 2 clubs in Guyana, 9 from the Guyana Defense Force, 7 players from the Slingers Club. Both teams, of course, tied at points after the first round of the Elite League in Guyana.
Similarly, on the Trinidad side, we have a couple of players who will be in action on Sunday in the Pro League, the likes of Mockett, Poon, who could probably win the league. The likes of Brent Sam as well in Defense Force. So definitely some top shooters in this one for both teams.
Of course, they're coming together, playing against the potential team that can challenge them. Police, of course, Simeon Bailey and Jabari Mitchell also in the squad.
Yeah, interesting because, as we were speaking earlier, the Premier League title race is on Sunday. Arsenal, Man City, similar to the AC Port of Spain Police FC title race that's going on the same day. So interesting to see, you know, which teams come out on top.
Oh, this is easily won back by Goddard. He's trimming him. Isaiah Garcia's touch is heavy, and it will be Guyana pushing forward. Kelsey Benjamin's pass not finding the intended target. Mitchell appeals for possession, and he will get the nod. Timothy Derry. Barry Mitchell, former youth star for Trinidad and Tobago. And of course that man Kelsey Benjamin, one of the current stars for Guyana, scored his 5th international goal in the 2-1 defeat to the Soca Warriors just 2 days ago. Easily cut out by Kelman. And Jermaine Cumberbatch, who will wear the gloves tonight, gets his first touch. It's Benjamin. Couldn't keep it in. Will be a throw to Trinidad and Tobago. Garcia charging into space. He does well to get it away to Mitchell. And Chevronez Hamilton could be through. Well, he's won that battle. He didn't. The referee spotting a pull. And, well, joy ended just as quickly as it came about.
Yeah, I think it's a great ball played through, by the way. Hamilton did well, but I think the defender just beat him for pace, and the frustration just caught up with him, as we could see. And he just tugs on the defender there, sends him to the ground, and I think the referees made the right decision. It's actually some good defending there from Baker in the end. A player who has been pretty good for his team as well this season. Chevron as Hamilton has scored some screamers. Maybe that goal was too easy for him to try to score.
Won back by the Golden Jaguars. Well, Marquette stances away from pressure, and Jabari Mitchell had just run ahead of his pass. Easily picked up, and here on Int'l will pick up his first touch. Raymond does find Brent Sam. Marquette. And the white shirts finally beginning to connect the dots. Well, commentators curse. Neither of these teams have really settled with you.
Yeah, they haven't as yet. Still very early on, just nearing the 5-minute mark, but you do expect them to grow into it. There's a lot of quality on this pitch, as we mentioned. Star-studded in their own rights, you know, top players from top teams in both countries. So you do expect them to piece it together, eventually grow back into the game. And I think we could be in for an interesting one this evening here, Brent. James. So accustomed.
I cut my dreadlocks. Marquette, Goddard linking up well. Marquette finding space to exploit, and he could find Mitchell, who does get in behind. Find support in Isaiah Garcia. Well, couldn't beat the first man. He will have a second attempt though. Garcia. Andre Raymond. Well, this is a good ball inside the area, and Mitchell has done well to beat his man. Poonanjaran just losing his footing in the end, and the Guyanese team will breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, that's good play from Trinidad. There's action still here. Danger hasn't been cleared.
Well, Sam's touch is a bit heavy, and again the Golden Jaguars will escape their defensive blushes. Maybe start an attack of their own. Well, this certainly looks promising. Space opening up here. Lavelle fouled in the process, and will be a free kick to Guyana.
Well, I think they got away with one there, the Guyanese, though they were able to win that free kick high up the pitch. As we take a look at it again, I think it's Poonanjaran was a little bit eager and just reacted too late. But again, we see the ball from Hamilton. It's well fizzed in. I actually thought the striker, I think it's Brent Ham, should have gambled a little earlier, but he's done well. Poon just slips at a critical moment, and the Guyanese are able to clear. And of course, Poon, though he slipped, he is our player to look out for, so maybe he wanted that highlight, and he'll be hoping to do better.
Well, that one has gone over the cuckoo's nest. Poonanjaran, as you mentioned, one of the key players, started his career at St. Mary's College before moving to Argentina. Played with Banfield prior to the pandemic. Has been a player that has generated lots of excitement locally for his style of play. And well, that's a foul.
Yeah, and you mentioned Poonanjaran, of course, St. Mary's College old boy, and he's been consistent ever since. I think he's grown well into the game, and I think he's a player that we could really do well for Trinidad and Tobago going forward, given his maturity and going and learning more and gaining more experience in the game. I just wanted to make mention, though, James, that chance with Hamilton, and we saw an empty box, and it causes me to wonder, would a striker of Kevin Woodley, we know his taste for the goal, we know his knack and his natural goal scoring ability, might have gambled a little more, and we might have seen a little more pressure being applied.
Oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Might find out later in the contest. Goddard. Hamilton. Back to Josiah Trimmingham. Plays his club football with Montego Bay in the Jamaican Premier League. He's one of 2 overseas-based players selected by Angus Eve for this match. Well, they have enjoyed possession so far, Trinidad and Tobago. Penetration is where they've lacked. Maybe now Sam can battle his way in. Well, that's well defended by Kevin Lane. Had his eyes on Benjamin, well cut out by Josiah Trimmingham. And Isaiah Garcia getting the final touch. Will be a throw for Guyana.
And I think that's what Trinidad and Tobago were going for, as we see them on the bench. Kevin Woodley, as I just mentioned, we see the likes of Sween, Daniel David, as well Simeon Bailey, Ruling. A star-studded bench, you would say, James. A lot of familiar faces and great players on that bench as well, who Coach Angus Eve might dip into as the game progresses.
Certainly among the players that have performed well this season in the TTPFL, and rewarded with an opportunity at the international level. Well, it's Guyana's turn to force possession. Come forward. It's heavy pass aimed in at Anthony Smith. Easily won in the end by Mockett. Hamilton turns away from pressure and, well, chipped up in the process.
Safe to say he's been the danger man for Trinidad and Tobago so far. Hamilton, he's had the most clear-cut chances. He's created a good one and drawing fouls as well.
Haven't really been able to cut through the Guyanese, perhaps, except for that one chance for Hamilton earlier. Maybe Sam. It's Goddard. Michelle Poonanjaron. Mockett. Couldn't find a way through. And Poonanjaron, well, just bundled over there. Andrew Samuel rightly raising his flag. Oh, certainly some names that you may or may not recognize on the bench for Guyana. And of course, campaigning last year, unbeaten in the CONCACAF Nations League, qualifying for the very first time to CONCACAF A. To have some pedigree. Well, could have gone anywhere really. Goes to a green shirt this time. Possession won back by Trinidad and Tobago. It's Garcia. To Garcia. Finds Poonanjaron. And, well, they've turned pass. Not quite where he wanted it from Chevronez Hamilton. And the flag should go up. Offside. Well, you can just hear the sound of the rhythm section here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium just kicking into high gear. Not the largest attendance by any means. Decent sized crowd coming out to support the Soca Warriors. Oh, has to hurry here. It's all too all but the pressure. This time easily won back by Trinidad and Tobago.
You made mention of the turnout, James, and we know Trinidad and Tobago football. We always talk about the talent, the potential, where we can be. And I want to ask you, do you think, you know, the backing of the team, the support, has an impact on the performance of the team in recent times? We've seen attendances decreasing. We've seen a lack of interest in local football.
It certainly has. Something that Angus Eve has mentioned time and time again. The 12th man looked at the Legends game recently, and it's, well, it's fair to say just about 1/5 of the attendance here tonight certainly raises some questions about the passion of the local fans.
And of course, James, you mentioned the Legends game. I think you did that on purpose because we know that you were able to get a picture, a perfect picture with your all-time great, all-time favorite footballer, none other than Rivaldo. You know his full name?
Yeah, Victor Barbosa Ferreira. And well, Brent Sam almost had everybody knowing his full name. Just straight offside, pass too heavy. But yeah, certainly was a pleasure meeting the likes of Rivaldo. Certainly one of the players that made me fall in love with Barcelona, even more than Iniesta and Messi.
But is that the difference though? You know, people come out because they know they have a connection, they looked up to these players. Do we have those players in Trinidad and Tobago for people to follow?
Might be building, I'll tell you about that in a second as Jabari Mitchell's pass is deflected. And well, try to avoid going for a corner. Well broken up by Trimmingham. Spoon Angeron. Again, Trinidad and Tobago finding some difficulty in cutting the middle of the park open. To answer your question though, just a matter of creating stars. One of the observations for many football purists is that we haven't been able to generate as many household names due to very few players playing in top international leagues overseas. Looked at the Legends match, likes of Ansel Elcock, who would have played for Columbus Crew, Russell Latapi, Porto, Hibernian, and of course Rangers, Dwight York, Manchester United. Household names in their own right at the club level. Certainly brought the fans out when they came to play. Combination perhaps of FIFA World Ranking and performances otherwise have seen the conveyor belt dry up somewhat. Well, chance opening up here. Jabari Mitchell could be through, but Cumberbatch gets there first with the safe pair of hands.
Well, again, Hamilton finding that key pass through just a little bit too heavy for Jabari Mitchell, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from Hamilton so far. I think he's been very lively out on that left-hand side for Trinidad and Tobago, though they haven't been able to really put any pressure on the Guyanese defense, who have been solid so far as well.
Quincy Adams did play his club football in Trinidad and Tobago for several years with Caledonia AIA. And Sam loses possession to his opposite number, Adams. Quite a number of the Guyanese team did play in Trinidad and Tobago. At least 6 players on the squad have played in Trinidad and Tobago in the past. Of course, if you go back in history, a lot of the Guyanese footballers would have represented clubs, particularly Caledonia AIA here in Trinidad and Tobago, including the all-time player for the most amount of caps, Walter Moore. Caledonia fans would remember him well. Caribbean Cup winner as well. It's been different though, recent times. Solomon Austin, the only player on this current squad who currently plays in Trinidad. Well, Mitchell has space, Sam is in. And well, he's appealing that he was shoved over, Brent Sam, but no mercy from the referee, Timothy Derry.
Yeah, well, again, it's good play. I think it was Poon played a beautiful ball through to Mitchell, who also played a beautiful one, as you see Guyana on the other end here, trying to make something of their counter-attack. In the end, it's broken up.
Cordad finds his club teammate, Isaiah Garcia. Making his international debut tonight, Isaiah Garcia. Younger cousin, of course, of Levi Garcia. Large Garcia clan, all with international experience. Of course, you think of Isaiah Garcia, Levi and his younger brother Judah Garcia, former Shiva Boys man. Brent Garcia played with Arima Fire, all part of the Garcia clan. Santa Flora, South Trinidad.
Safe to say that once your last name is Garcia in Trinidad, get them on a football field immediately.
Well, that was Justin Garcia with the throw. But Jabari Mitchell, policeman, just thought gambled on Brent Sam to get there. Not that time.
I think he just got delayed. I'm not sure if the defender got a little touch on him just to throw him off. But it was good play from Trinidad and Tobago to get in behind the Guyanese defense.
Oh, foot race on here. Josiah Trimina will be first to. Well, again, Mitchell has found himself in a delightful position. Can lightning strike twice? Brent Sam. Well, he's missed the target. Did the right thing this time, Brent Sam. Couldn't find the accuracy.
Well, the Guyanese defense are absolutely fuming. They thought that it should have been offside, but Mitchell timed his run well again, puts it on a plate. Brent Sam opens up his body nicely, but I think it bubbles at the last minute and probably hits his ankle, the bone, causing it just to skew wide. Unfortunate there for Sam because it was a good run from him.
Brent Sam, of course, one of those players, has scored some goals in the campaign. Top scorer last year at the local level. Younger brother, of course, of former Wrexham man, Hector Sam. Well, again, they find space, but this time the flag comes up. And it will be flagged as offside into the Rochad, the Eagle Eyes.
Well, again, it's Poon picking up the spaces in the midfield and playing the perfect pass into his wingers. I think this time it was Raymond who got in behind, just straight offside, but it was a good pass from Poon. But just to rewind to what we were speaking about, James, the connection and the relationship between the Guyanese and the Trinidad football scene. Of course, the Guyanese and Trinidad culture are very similar, so it's probably very easy for players to come across and feel at home. You know, the proximity as well between the two nations. Of course, Guyana having a Trinidadian coach as well.
In fact, most of your technical staff coming from Trinidad and Tobago. Jamal Shabazz, of course, credited taking Guyana to the highest position they've ever reached in World Cup qualifying. Third round. 11-match unbeaten streak, you might remember, all the way back in 2012. Earned him a President's Award. Also FIFA Best Moving. Also took them to their highest ranking as well, 86th in the FIFA ranking. Fourth stint in charge of the Golden Jaguars, Jamal Shabazz. And it's fair to say, well, certainly king in his own right in the South American nation.
Well, a wise man once said he's the Ancelotti of Guyanese football. Not sure that anybody could disagree with that.
Certainly has established them as a regional power. Powder's cross, too high for Sam. Punan's run, looking to get a second bite. Muckett, Punan's run. Well, they're connecting dots now, and he's forced a good save from Cumberbatch. The first real attempt from Trinidad and Tobago, and it has forced a save from a goalkeeper. Will be a corner.
Yeah, well, it's good play again from the midfielders. The Poon and Muckett link up. The AC Port of Spain touches coming out there. Some good interplay, and it's Mitchell actually who gets it into Muckett and does well to get a shot away in the end. But what a save from Cumberbatch, diving down to his strong right hand and pushes it out for Trinidad and Tobago corner.
First corner of the match for Trinidad and Tobago. Justin Garcia and Sam, the targets perhaps. Well, Muckett just couldn't wrap his boot around it. Might have been Trimmingham who got the initial touch. Certainly a chance gone for Trinidad and Tobago. And Guyana now perhaps can get in behind. Isaiah Garcia not winning the tackle cleanly. And Lane could set this on a plate. Well, it came to naught just as quickly as it came about. But a chance nonetheless. Oh, we've seen end-to-end stuff in the last few minutes, haven't we?
Yeah, and that was a good opportunity, I thought, there for Guyana to put some pressure on the Trinidad defense. I think the final ball was a bit disappointing. But we see again, as you mentioned, end-to-end action. Chevron as Hamilton again trying to get in. But it's good defending from Kevin Lane. asserting his dominance in that centre-back position.
Muckett. Couldn't take it around the angle. There, Garcia was waiting. It's done well. Keep possession. Benjamin squeezes it out wide. Green shirts arriving in the area now. So they're growing in confidence, the Golden Jaguars. This is Tariq Mohammed. Needs a good service. Too heavy. Well, Tariq Mohammed has a Trinidad and Tobago father, Guyanese mother, making his debut tonight for Guyana. Still hasn't decided yet. Well, that was a chance. Got a chance similar to that last Monday. Put it away, not this time, Benjamin.
Yeah, well, you would have expected him to put it in the back of the net. That was a free shot. Sloppy in the back from the Trinidad and Tobago defense, giving it away to the wrong man, who unfortunately for the Guyanese was unable to convert and pounce on the mistake. As we see the young fans out in their numbers, a couple of Man United fans. We would hope that he's wearing that red for Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, just one of the 8 today. Pun intended. Fancy feet, Mohammed. Certainly doing a lot better in possession now, the Guyanese, escaping pressure. Goal. Swung the way in behind Raymond. Does well to reclaim possession. Well, the crowd certainly appreciating that. Spoon Angeron. Barry Mitchell. And now Benjamin, 1v1 against Trinningham. But it could be in. Well, Aaron Int'l with the Superman save. And the Guyanese have come huffing and puffing, and for all the 11 goals he scored this season, Niles, he couldn't find that one against that man in goal, Int'l.
Well, you mentioned the right man there. That was a great save from Int'l, but we have to commend, that's great attacking from the Guyanese as well. It's the danger man, Benjamin, just able to slip it through into Smith. But it's a good left foot stretched out there from Int'l. As you see it again there. And it was actually Niles who got the shot away in the end.
Well, he couldn't keep that under control. Might look for space to swing one back in the area. Goal. Could get this over. Will be another corner for Guyana. Pressure being applied by the Golden Jaguars.
Yeah, well, I just went to make mention that they have responded very well. They've conceded some chances there. Unfortunately for the Trinbagonians, they haven't been able to score, but the Guyanese are responding. As we take another look at the crowd, Michael Shaves in the crowd there in the lower third of your screen. And Tariq Mohammed.
Well, the man to take the corner, Tariq Mohammed, on debut tonight. Of course, being trialed, Canadian base, as a Trini and a Guyanese passport. Eligible to represent both these nations. Opting tonight to wear the green jersey. And the safe hands of Int'l ensures that calm ensues in the Trinidad and Tobago defense. Three of the players from the Golden Jaguars to play their football abroad. Tariq Mohammed, as we mentioned, in Canada. Also have players who campaign in the French lower division as well as the US lower division. Oh, can you read expressions?
Take a look at it. That might have been a penalty claim there, James. The referee might have missed it. I'm not sure if contact was made with Jabari Mitchell, but it does go out for a corner for Trinidad and Tobago in the end.
Mitchell, his eyes on the big men in the area. This time Trinningham appealing for a handball. And Mohammed with the clearance. Foot race on now. And Isaiah Garcia comfortable in his pursuit. Well, the pace has really slowed since the start of this contest. Neither team have really wrestled control. Both teams creating excellent chances to take the lead. Niles for Guyana, Brent Sam and Dwayne Mockett for Trinidad and Tobago. Well, the flag has stayed down, and Chevroness Hamilton will be second, but he does get a touch, and it will be a Guyanese throw.
Again, it's a good ball played through from Mockett, trying to exploit that space in behind the Guyanese defense. Hamilton nearly got on the end of it. Jermaine Comerbach actually did well. He was well positioned initially and able to get there before the Club Sando FC man.
Now Hamilton and Jabari Mitchell switching flanks. Hamilton now operating from the right. Smith plays his club football in the 3rd division in France. FC Cleon. Another one of the debutants tonight for Guyana. Well, maybe a handball. And Timothy Berry rightfully calling the infringement.
And James, you mentioned Smith playing in the 3rd tier of French football. A lot of people might look down on that, say, well, it's only the 3rd tier. But actually, a lot of the times what happens with these players is when they go away, the culture of the sport, the discipline that they're able to get, the experience, they don't just have competition, but the whole culture of sport abroad opens the mind of these athletes, and it's very good for their development, actually.
Certainly is. Trinningham. Well, you look at the midfield selected by Angus Eve tonight. Man on the ball, Goddard, Punanjaran, Mockett. You could expect an element of control. Have managed to do that in terms of possession. It's penetration where they've lacked. Goddard speeds ahead of him. Picks out Mockett. Mitchell looking for Sam. There's Brent Sam. And well defended in the end. Just came off the body of Kevin Lane.
Yeah, well, that's very good from Brent Sam. Much better. Action still there. Led away by the Guyanese. As he rightfully said, it's good defending again from Kevin Lane, but a good ball into Sam. I think he did well to take it down, got good connection, but was well marshaled by the Guyanese centre-back.
We've gone past the half-hour mark. No goals yet in this fixture. As we say good evening to all of the fans all across the Caribbean here on SportsMax. Both these teams, of course, will be eyeing World Cup qualifying. Trinidad and Tobago in Group B. Will play Grenada in a couple of weeks' time. And Guyana, well, tougher group. They've got Panama coming up on the 11th of June. Well, that's going to be too heavy for Benjamin. Both these teams do come into this match with level of form. Angus Eve's men, well, played 2, lost 2 and drawn 1 in their last 5. Guyana won 3, lost 2 their last 5, including that big 4-1 win against Cambodia. Also played Ethiopia at the end of last year as well. Cape Verde have been able to attract bigger friendlies. Angus Eve, on the other hand, recent contract extension with the Trinidad and Tobago national team after successfully getting them into League A. Well, here's Mitchell. Too heavy. Well, scratch that. Chevronez Hamilton gets on the end of it and tries a snapshot that Cumberbatch couldn't hold on cleanly.
Yeah, good ball across. Some danger there again. Hamilton in the action. And the keeper actually parried it. May have been an opportunity there for a rebound. And that's a foul there from Chimbenham, who I think actually has been pretty good this first half.
Solid defender. Just missed out on a spot in the central defensive position for Trinidad and Tobago recently. It was a position now very hotly contested. Likes of Sheldon Battle being returned. Aubrey David, of course, one of the first choice centre-backs with Justin Garcia. It's PFL Player of the Year. Well, he said he wasn't happy after the 2-1 win on Monday. His expression, though, doesn't suggest happy at the moment, Angus Eve. As Garcia goes to ground.
Goes down, rubbing his head, but seems to be okay, just taking his time to get back up onto his feet. Clean bucket. But if you mentioned the views there of Coach James Saunders, not Coach James Saunders, Coach James Saunders, but of course you always want the best out of your teams, you know, even if you do come out with a victory, especially in these international friendlies where nothing is really on the line. Coaches are always going to be nitpicking on what they think could have been better.
Well, here's Raymond. Maverick run forward and he keeps going. Finally is stopped in his pursuit. Adams. Again, Garcia uses his frame well. Goddard providing some defensive cover. Despite the best attempt of Niles, will remain Trinidad and Tobago's possession. 9 goals in 11 appearances for the man representing the Slingers FC team in Guyana.
It's a good goal return. You always want your strikers to be scoring nearly a goal a game. It's quite impressive from the man himself.
Well, the only man who's gotten above him, Tudor, who is on the bench tonight. His club teammate. He scored 11 so far from 9. Door not opening up as Mohammed takes the interception. Here's Michel Poonangeron. Sam did well, just couldn't put a handle on it. Certainly getting closer to the halfway mark in this fixture. Both coaches might have their eyes on a couple changes at halftime.
I think Trinidad and Tobago, as well as Guyana, both teams will be disappointed that they haven't found the back of the net. Both of them have had some clear-cut chances. Both goalkeepers, of course, called into action as well. So I think both coaches and players as well will be disappointed that it's still 0-0.
Between Muckett, Jabari Mitchell. more patient in the build-up now, the Soca Warriors. Mitchell should get there first. Couldn't find Sam, as it's that man yet again. Kevin Lane getting his boot in the way. Muckett. Chevronez Hamilton. Appealing for offside as Muckett finds space. Back to Garcia. A bit more urgency in the passing of the men in white. It's Hamilton. Sam lurking in the area. We'll have a second chance, Andrew Raymond. Punanjaran, well, sent his man for drinks, and he sent the shot into orbit.
Well, it actually went for a throw-in there, James, but unlucky, Poon, but he got into a very good position there. Was good play down the left-hand side once again for Trinidad and Tobago. Raymond just slipping him in. It's actually poor defending, I think, from Guyana. The way Poon was able to float into that space, but just couldn't wrap his foot around it to get it on target, and he would be frustrated with that one.
Mohammed's throw couldn't be controlled by Smith. It's Andrew Raymond. Kept playing the USL recently. Currently unattached. Well, Sam got there first, but Cumberbatch was quicker. Oh, they'll battle for this. Andrews did well. Back to his goalkeeper. He's lean. He's got Adams in support. Final touch. Did come off Chevronez Hamilton, so it will be a Guyana throw. Enter the final 5 minutes of the first half. Mohammed into traffic. It's Goddard. Maybe thoughts of a push. Just got away with it. Barry Mitchell couldn't bring it under his spell. And well, Guyana can't get it out of the area. Hassle now by Sam, and Trinidad and Tobago have won themselves a corner.
Yeah, and this time playing through the middle. I think in my analysis of the first half, they've had most of their joy coming down the wings. Those balls played in from the midfield. And this time we see them trying to penetrate through the middle. A clipped ball over the top from Muckett. And in the end, it wins them a corner.
Taken quickly, Punanjaran has to hurry. Andrew Raymond. Justin Garcia was there, and a deflected attempt from Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, it came off another Trinidad and Tobago player. So it will be a goal kick.
I think he might have actually given an offside.
Might be right on that one. Chevronez Hamilton straying into an offside position. Handball. Picked up by Andrew Samuel. Well, Andrew Raymond has, in fact, Justin Garcia stayed down after that challenge.
Well, that's not a good sign at all.
He's holding on to his Achilles tendon, just the back of his heel area. Tell you what, those can be quite painful for the defense force man. TTPFL Player of the Year last season, which has earned him a spot in the senior national team. Hasn't looked back since then, Garcia. Following in the footsteps of his father, another former Defence Force player. Might be somewhere up there.
We do hope that he's okay. Jamal Shabazz giving his team instructions. Clearly disappointed with something. Animated, as they may say.
But he did start his career as a CONCACAF press officer, Jamal Shabazz. Well, venturing fully into coaching. He is the technical director of Caledonia AIA here in Trinidad and Tobago. Took them to a CFU Cup back in 2012. He's also head of the women's program here in Trinidad and Tobago as well. He's also national head coach for a short stint back in 2012 together with Hudson Charles. Clock getting a lot closer to that 45-minute mark. Just about a minute will be added. Neither team taking advantage of the opportunities presented. Trinningham couldn't find Hamilton. It does win a throw.
Yeah, hasn't been the most lively and exciting first half. Both teams have had their glimpses at goal, but they'll both be hoping to increase the level a little bit in the second half as the coaches give them their halftime instructions.
Well, that's illegal from Benjamin. Speeding his case, but there's no jury. Judge's decision, or the referee's decision in this instance, final. Five international goals for him. Expected to be one of the main men for Guyana in the coming years. This plays called football with the Defence Force in Guyana. Well, we've already gone past the 1 minute of time that was added. This very well might be the last play of the game. Benjamin could get a yellow card for all his troubles. Maybe Guyana might go into the break first. Int'l. Oh, he made sure that wasn't the case. Mitchell. It's been lively all first half. And the defense will ensure that Guyana going to the half without conceding. Timothy Derry has seen enough for the first 45 minutes. Oh, that man, he's been rock solid at the back, Lovell. Cumberbatch has made some big saves, including that one in Mocket. Brent Sam perhaps with the best two chances for Trinidad and Tobago. And at the end of 45 minutes here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, the fans, including Redan Fabubaka, Christopher Biggett, and company, Adrian Fonset, well, they're tad disappointed as no goals as they go into the break, goalless at halftime. We take a break and come back.
Hi, I am Umar Sadiq. Watch La Liga on SportsMax.
Welcome to the Eternal City. Welcome to Rome for one of the best outdoor clay court tournaments, the Italian Open. From May 8th to 18th, stay tuned to SportsMax and SportsMax 2 for every swing, every point, and every match. From some of the biggest names in the WTA, the Internazionale BNL d'Italia, and it's on the SportsMax app. Your game, your way. Get the SportsMax app today.
Ahí tenemos al MVP del partido, sin lugar a dudas.
El partido tiene tanto ritmo que no me da tiempo a comentártelo todo.
¡Ah! ¡Cerquita del gol! ¡Gol, gol, 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 gol! ¡Gol!
Al límite, en la agonía de los últimos instantes, uno más que se resuelve en nuestra liga. EA Sport.
We've been taught that to be the best, you gotta train like the best, you gotta go where the best goes, you gotta play the best. For the best moments are found here, for the fight, for the heart, for each other, for the game. The WTA on your home of champions.
The Soca Warriors versus the Golden Jaguars at halftime here at the Hasty Crawford Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago. 0-0. The score on the half. James Saunders has the highlights.
Look at the first 45 minutes, and well, both teams struggling to create early chances. Somebody had high aspirations. That one was high from his intended target. Soca Warriors did have lots of luck down the right-hand side. Jabari Mitchell finding Sam. The big man couldn't find his footing. And, well, the chance, like magic, disappeared. Later on, again, Mitchell finding space in behind Mohammed. And this time, Sam making the connection. But there was no real spark in terms of finding the space between the 11 yards. And then here, Mocket got his foot tangled. Just had trimming him with the touch. Mocket too hot to handle for him. And that opened doors for the Golden Jaguar. This man has been dangerous, Benjamin. And now he's scored 9 goals in the domestic league in Guyana this season. But he couldn't find one here tonight. Int'l making the save. And then later on, Poonanjaran. Well, he sent that one high into orbit, into the night sky. And after 45 minutes, after all of the razzle-dazzle, well, it's really been flat in front of goal. Let's see what the numbers tell us about this match. And when you look at it, Soca Warriors leading in terms of shots, 6 of them. Half of that going to Guyana. When it comes to shots on target, a lot closer. Fouls, well, has been a bit feisty at times. 9 fouls committed, 5 to the Soca Warriors. And in terms of saves, both keepers have been quite active We're very, very close. It's all level, though. In the score, it is goalless.
Thank you very much, James. Liu Chin joins us as well on pitch. Guys, first half, it seemed like so many opportunities, so many close to for Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, what's going on?
Well, just finding the finishing touches. As we've been seeing, Trinidad and Tobago have been creating very well. I think the midfield has done well to play some forward passes into the wingers, just haven't gotten that finishing touch. But the chances are created, and I do expect if they keep knocking on the door, they will be able to unlock it eventually.
Well, here, let's look at some of the misses, so to speak, the near chances.
Well, there's a reason that the goose that lays the golden egg is so talked about, because it's rare. And finding that finishing touch and someone that can find that touch is proving incredibly difficult. Well, Hector Sam has been lethal in the local competition. Tonight, 2 big chances, and the defense force man couldn't turn it around the corner. And even here, Poonanjaran, coming from deep, it's the most advanced I've seen him in the match, but just missing his target in the end. Finding goals have been a struggle.
But it seems to be a common thread in terms of Trinidad and Tobago, because we saw that in the friendlies against Jamaica as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is goals win games. If you're not able to finish off, it's going to be difficult to get results, but you just have to have the composure in those situations. You just saw Poonanjaran floating into the space very nicely, but just lost his head at the end, skied it out for a throw, actually. So you expect them to do better in those positions.
Do you chalk it up to nerves? Do you all chalk it up to experience? What do you think it is?
Could be a bit of both. Certainly some of these players coming in, their first opportunity with the national team in a long while or ever, and having an opportunity. So a bit of nerves coming in there. And of course, you know, when you get big chances, you're under pressure to try and make a team that you're on the fringes of.
Yeah.
2 things can happen. Either you take those chances and you be a hero, or you miss them. And there's a reason why we don't have as many heroes as we have villains.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit more about Guyana and in terms of their chances, their near misses, and what they need to do to get into this game some more.
Yeah, well, similar as James and I said in the commentary, they haven't had much of the ball, haven't had much of the chances, but they've had some clear-cut ones. We saw Benjamin get one. We saw this one here as he drives forward to the Trinidad and Tobago defense. Played into Niles, but it's a great save from Int'l. You can't really blame the attacker there too much. But again, in those instances, you have to score.
And I think they just have to win those midfield battles, Guyana. They've struggled to do that. That midfield of Goddard, Poonanjaran, and of course Market, they've managed to hog a lot of the possession. Most of the chances that they've gotten is when Trinidad and Tobago have overcommitted going forward and left spaces in behind, and they haven't taken those chances. In a game like this, where you don't get much of the ball, you've got to take the half chances caused by errors.
All right, well, Trinidad and Tobago, we are in Group B. Let's talk a little bit about some of the upcoming matches. And we know going into these matches, can't afford to have some of the misses or near misses we've had so far.
Yeah, the big one, of course, will be that Trinidad and Tobago against Grenada match. That's going to start the campaign for them. And then, of course, they move to Bahamas. There is talk that that match could be shifted from Bahamas with the stadium not ready in time for the encounter. Could go to St. Kitts and Nevis. Not sure if that will play into the hands of Trinidad and Tobago in terms of an advantage, but something left to be seen.
All right, and when we look at Guyana, Leo.
Yeah, and of course, Guyana, that's a huge game for them coming up against Panama, who would have recently qualified for World Cups in the recent past, as well as against Belize, who you may expect them to be the favorites going into that one, Guyana. But again, World Cup qualifying, you can never predict.
But again, if they win that first one against Panama, it would mean Guyana would proceed through the campaign with a level of confidence. It would give any team confidence to beat Panama.
Well, it's a mountain. They've got to get a lot of faith to move that mountain.
Well, we'll see what happens if they can get past this mountain tonight. Trinidad and Tobago versus Guyana here at the Hasty Crawford Stadium. It's an international friendly. When we get back, second half action.
Want sports at your convenience? The SportsMax app is your hub for all things sports. Stream live and exclusive content from the biggest leagues and the most talked about events. Catch up on daily highlights, rewatch clips, and keep up to date with the latest news articles. Plus, we've got games and prizes. Your home of champions has got you covered with the SportsMax app, because your entertainment is our #1 priority. Stream, play, and win when you download the SportsMax app today.
Sauter plus haut. Courir plus vite. Lancer plus loin. Battre plus fort. Pour s'approcher un peu plus près. D'un centimètre. D'un centième. D'une touche. Du plus convoité des objets jamais créés. D'or, d'argent ou de bronze, mais avant tout, de Paris. En son centre, imaginé par Paris 2024, un véritable morceau de Tour Eiffel. Un hexagone, serti à la manière d'une pierre précieuse, met en lumière un savoir-faire unique. Son rayonnement donne vie au symbole de la victoire et fait briller 100 ans plus tard le retour des Jeux Olympiques et Paralympiques à Paris. Transmettre la fierté d'une ville, d'un patrimoine, d'un pays tout entier pour illuminer une nouvelle fois la ville lumière et le cœur des plus grands athlètes. En 2024, le rêve est un bijou et Paris en est l'écrin. Paris 2024 et LVMH sont fiers de vous présenter les médailles des Jeux Olympiques et Paralympiques de Paris 2024, designées par la Maison Chaumet.
Fear you're missing out? Don't miss another event with SportsMax. Enjoy full live content on our YouTube channel. Keep up to date with all things sports. Rewatch highlights of your favorite zone moments. Join our community and share in the passion of sports viewers everywhere. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the SportsMax YouTube channel today.
Well, the first half might have been a bit of a snoozer, but everybody's awake now for the second, hoping that some goals will light up the contest. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hazley Crawford Stadium. It's been a shootout, just blanks in the first half. Goalless in Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana. James Saunders is my name. Leo Chin alongside me for this friendly international fixture. The 16th friendly international between these teams. Int'l Smith, one of the early changes for the Soca Warriors, will get the chance to wear the latex gloves in goal. Might be a few more. I'll tell you about them. Both these teams, of course, expected to make changes. From the looks of things, 2 changes, including that man to the far end of your screen, Kevin Showtime Woodley, who has come on. Isaiah Lee, the Terminex Rangers man, another one of those changes as well for Trinidad and Tobago. No apparent changes just yet for Guyana. Well, we'll keep my eyes open to inform you such as soon as it happens. In fact, Simeon Moore, one of those coming on for Guyana. Second half action. And straight away Trinidad and Tobago trying to get in with Dwayne Muckett. Couldn't control it in the end. Stretching the Guyanese defense early.
Well, switching up things in attack. Trinidad and Tobago bringing on Kevin Woodley, as you say, of course, the top scorer in the TTPFL this season, as well as a scorer in the last fixture on Monday against Guyana. Isaiah Lee, very quick, dynamic winger, as you did mention, from local Terminex Rangers. And as well for Guyana, Simeon Moore coming on. He'll also add to that forward line of the Guyanese. So both teams going for goals, James. Clearly, both coaches disappointed with that 0-0 first half.
Well, I just felt it was coming. The teams presented with clear-cut opportunities in the first half. Well, moment of panic somewhat for Trinidad and Tobago, but Int'l Smith looked as cool as snowman in the Arctic. The top left, Smith, a French-based man, sacrificed for more. Chevronez Hamilton will make way for Isaiah Lee. Finds himself in an excellent position here. And Brent Sam being replaced by Woodley, the intended target of that pass from Isaiah Lee. Of course, the goalkeeper, Trinidad and Tobago, also being substituted. Aaron Int'l, of course, pulling off that fine save off of Niles in the first half. Well, one man who's impressed in the first half, the man standing over this one, Barry Mitchell. It's got Justin Garcia lurking in the area. Garcia gets a head on it, and Dwayne Mockett got the final touch. Just couldn't find the coordinates. Chance opening up early.
Yeah, and it's a huge chance there for the AC Port of Spain man. Beautifully swung in from Mitchell, flicked on by Garcia. And Mockett, I think, just had a little, not much time to react. He kind of surprised him there. And not headering may not be his specialty, Mockett. But a man of his quality, you would have expected him actually to put it in the back of the net.
Hasn't scored a lot of headed goals in his career, Dwayne Mockett. Although he has been among the goals this season, playing from midfield. Oh, Timothy Derry wants an inspection of the football. Was one of the referees used in the Legends match, Timothy Derry. The referee the first half of that match, one of the fastest rising young officials in Trinidad and Tobago. Couldn't put his foot around it, Nikolai Andrews. And Curtis Kelman couldn't beat Kevon Woodley for pace, but he does win a throw. Kevon Woodley made his debut for Trinidad and Tobago remarkably at the age of 37 on Monday, and he scored in debut. He scored here, there, everywhere. Kevon Woodley, as Josiah Chummingham receives a bit of attention. Isaiah Lee, former secondary school standout and national youth player, finally getting his opportunity yet again at the senior level. Simeon Moore, a man who knows this country very well, Trinidad and Tobago. Play a season at Caledonia as well. Lee in a tango. It's one that he does well to come out of. Cordad. Denzel Smith picks out Isaiah Garcia. Mockett had his pocket picked.
Bit of a scrappy start, I would say, to the second half, James. They've had their chances, Trinidad and Tobago, but a little loose in the midfield from both teams. Again, as we see the foul there from Mockett. Guyana now in possession.
Done well, Woodley coming deep to retain possession, and well, the old abracadabra from Josiah Chummingham. Well, it's a giveaway. Proved costly for Trinidad and Tobago. Benjamin capitalizing on Monday. And Lee, the flag is up though.
Again, James, we see that midfield chemistry between Dwayne Mockett and Poon Angeron. A green link, for those who play FIFA would know what that means. And even in the first half, we saw the awareness. They know their movement. It's almost like second nature. Look at it here. Poon, and it's a one-touch ball right into the path back of Poon. A nice chip ball over. Unfortunately, Isaiah Lee was a bit too eager to get on the end of it. But wonderful play again from Mockett and Poon.
Of course, both players play their club football for the current league leaders, AC Port of Spain. Team that will be looking to clinch their first Premier League title on Sunday. Do lead Police by 2 points on top of the standings going into the final match. Oh, what a delightful ball from Angeron. Mitchell has Lee, Woodley for company. Well, he's opened the door, needs a clean finish. Couldn't find it, Cumberbatch was in the way. Well, maybe Poon Angeron, he does find the answer. Well, if ever they needed an answer, Trinidad and Tobago, they needed an architect, and his name, Michel Poon Angeron. 1-0.
Well, if it was somebody to put the ball in the back of the net, James, you would have thought it would have been him. I mean, he's been brilliant for the whole game, the entire game. First half, had a bit of a howler, but this time he takes his chance, and it's 1-0 to Trinidad and Tobago.
Might be his first international goal as well. Kevin Woodley opening the door for Isaiah Lee. But Jabari Mitchell blocked. Then a mess made by the Guyanese. Well, who better to clean up the spill than our key player, Poon Angeron.
Tell you what, James, that is a composed finish. And we spoke about that at the halftime. We spoke about the composure that players need to have in those positions, and you could see what it means to the former St. Mary's College man. He smiles. Deservedly so. Beautiful goal from Poon Angeron. And we see the instant impact of the subs. Kevin Woodley in the mix. And it's 1-0 to Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago finding a way on the score sheet. Michel Poon Angeron, 53rd minute. Well, Woodley has made a run in behind here. Cumberbatch gets there first. A bit better from the Soca Warriors.
They seem to be going a lot more direct now that Woodley is on, James.
He is certainly a direct type of player. Woodley. Well, that wasn't far off from the man they call Showtime. Already, we've seen a more incisive point from the Soca Warriors than we saw in the first half. Well, how will Guyana respond to the latest assault from the Soca Warriors? Cumberbatch made some fine saves in the first half. Beaten by Poon Angeron's strike. Just muffed his pass in the end there. Lavelle. It's well won by Poon Angeron. The white shirts are away. Mitchell. Woodley arriving in the area. Isaiah Lee just behind, but it's running into some traffic in the end. The man from Gonzales in Point Fortin.
Well, again, James, it's Poon unlocking the key to that Guyana defense. I mean, it was that chip ball over the top. Jabari Mitchell making a beautiful run. Danger, but it was well defended by the Guyanese. Seem to be developing some sort of partnership there as well. The midfield of Trinidad and Tobago and Jabari Mitchell.
Has made quite a few incisive runs in behind Jabari Mitchell. Certainly giving Angus Eve something to think about.
Of course, Poon and Jabari Mitchell will be enemies on Sunday, as both their teams in contention for that league title in Trinidad and Tobago.
Raymond just nicked in the end. And perhaps the second yellow card we've seen, Guyana. And it has gone to that man, Nikolai Andrews. Hanson Raymond, I've seen that type of run from him on several occasions in this match. Well, it's a chess game. Fishing for some new pieces now, Jamal Shabazz. Woodley. Shabazz certainly would know all of his capabilities. Did spend a lot of his career at Caledonia AIA, now more of a Caledonia United.
There seems to be some movement on the bench as well for the Guyanese. Jamal Shabazz on the touchline giving some instructions to his new troops that he's going to add into the battlefield.
Goddard finds Muckett in space. And again, Mitchell makes an incisive run. Mohammed gets a touch, and Woodley, well, gravity not in his favor that time, but the flag was up. Oh, what a difference he's made since coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just been in the mix. I think that's the best way to describe Kevin Woodley. Just gets into those areas, and I've heard a term recently, James, to describe footballers who don't care how they do it. I can't remember it right now, but basically these players, you know, they just come on the pitch. It doesn't matter if it's pretty. It doesn't matter if it's technically brilliant, but it's just about getting the job done. When it gets back in my head, I'll get back to you on it.
So the third yellow card going to the Golden Jaguars, and Andrews this time gets the caution for his bit of exuberance.
I think the term is no ego players, players who don't care how they look once they get the job done.
It's all about scoring goals at the end of it. And again, flag remains down as Mitchell inviting. Well, Lee saw the invitation, but the defense taking no chances. It will be a corner. Now changes for Guyana. Devon Baker, one player who has played in Trinidad and Tobago, replacing another. And maybe time for more changes as Chris Macy also comes in, replacing Benjamin. And Marcus Tudor, a current leading goal scorer in the Guyana Elite League, has come on to lead the attack in place of his club teammate Niles. Well, that's a wave from Mohammed, and Tudor gets his first touch. The intent certainly clear from Guyana. They need goals. Well, he's got some pace about him, Tudor. And Isaiah Garcia doing his bit. Well, he's under pressure now, Denzel Smith. Bit of urgency now from the boys in green. Did play unbeaten in the Nations League last year. And their run historically qualified for League A. Of course, to most of those players, barring 5 of them in this squad tonight. Well, space opening up here. Tudor was looking.
The Guyanese just getting a foothold in the second half here, James. Trying to build something. They're only 1-0 down, by no means out of this one. They've made their changes, so they do have fresh legs out on the pitch trying to exploit that Trinidad and Tobago defense, who, by the way, have been resolute so far. Commentators curse once again, James. They give it away immediately.
Tudor. Got a niftiness about him. Couldn't get past Goddard that time. Goddard, one of 4 Defence Force players in the lineup for Trinidad and Tobago tonight. Will be Raymond to take the throw. Woodley. Tudor certainly has been lively since coming on. Here's Mohammed. Well, he's been impressive, Mohammed. And Tudor, well blocked. It's a corner. Isaiah Garcia made himself big. Certainly have linked up well, Mohammed, man on debut tonight. And Tudor, the leading goal scorer this season.
Yeah, again, it's great play from Mohammed. Turns away from Mitchell, slips it through nicely. In the end, Isaiah Garcia does well to recover. But again, Guyana with their tails up.
Well, this is deep. And Denzel Smith made sure that he held on. Well, he's certainly unsure tonight, Mohammed. Of course, he can represent both Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago. His father did play club football in Trinidad and Tobago. Tunapuna United among the teams that he represented back in the 80s. His mother, Guyanese descent. Tell you what, he's made an impression tonight. Might soon carrying a Guyanese passport.
Well, safe to say he's playing on home soil, so I guess he's feeding off of the home support as well. And his father playing for Tunapuna United. What a city Tunapuna is.
Oh, it's Woodley. Lee. And the green shirts come away. Couldn't find Tudor. Marquette. Space opening up now. Isaiah Lee. And this man, Jabari Mitchell. Trimming up. Picks out Andre Raymond. Marquette trying to poke holes. Done well to keep possession. The game certainly has picked up in momentum and tempo the second half. A lot more movement. This time Poonanjaran and Kevin Woodley are just straight offside. Perhaps anticipated that that pass might have come earlier.
Yeah, there's a good eye there. But Woodley was miles offside. I think he actually shared a smile with Poon after that one. He knew that he was out of bounds there, was Woodley. But really has been impressive, Kevin Woodley, since coming into this Trinidad and Tobago squad. Of course, scoring on Monday, this man as well in your shot has been pretty impressive today and throughout the season for his club as well. But just to make mention of Woodley again, latter stages of his career, well, might not be the latter stages of his career, as he seemed to only ascend, being the top scorer in the TTPFL.
It's Raymond, space ahead of him. Poonanjaran. Can he open the door for Woodley? Not that time. Marquette just caught. And despite pleading his innocence, Kevin Lean has been given the wagging finger. Timothy Derry.
Yeah, again, Marquette just gets there before Lane. And it's a foul that we see ever too often in football. Just missed time in his tackle, no real intent to injure the man at all. So it's a free kick here for Trinidad and Tobago in a relatively dangerous position.
Andre Raymond will make way for Barry Garcia. Was one of the stars of the 2010 team, I think, Trinidad and Tobago, that won the Caribbean Under-20 Championship. team that included the likes of Kadeem Corbin and one Levi Garcia. Well, here's another Garcia swinging this in the area to Lee. Well, came across the area and Cumberbatch couldn't hold on. Again, Guyana survive a untidy bit of defending. It's Lovell. Andrews. Tudor finds his man. Mohammed. Curtis Kelman, former Real Salt Lake man. And, well, certainly sums up their evening. Connected passes at times, the Guyanese, but the end product that has let them down time and again.
And the Guyanese, James, maybe made to rue their big chances in the first half. I mean, 2 clear-cut chances. Could have had 2 goals on the board. And if they aren't able to get it together in the second half, they'll really look back on those chances and say, you know, we should have taken them.
Only finds Trimmingham. Thump back in the area looking for a green shirt. Devon Baker. Tudor. Running into traffic and just stalled in the end. He's been a handful, Marcus Tudor.
Yeah, he really has. He's caused some problems for the defense, giving them something to think about after they hadn't been troubled too much by the Guyanese. But he's given them an opportunity here for a free chance to put some pressure on the Soca Warriors defense.
Well, Chris Macy and Leo Orion Lavelle are the 2 men lining up for this one. Davon Baker might even have some thoughts of his own. God, you can just sense the nerves in the atmosphere as Timothy Derry takes his time to have a word with the wall. And perhaps something of the shirt of Goddard, maybe some blood spotted on the shirt of Kevin Goddard. Just asking him to change his garment.
Maybe small in size, Goddard, but definitely a warrior in the midfield, so a little blood mightn't be too much of a scare for him. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Baker couldn't cook up anything there. Maybe now. Well, the danger not yet averted, and finally away by Trinidad and Tobago. Only as far as the captain Wilson. Well, he had the right idea. The execution, however, certainly left a lot to be desired.
Well, the finishing still not there for Guyana, James, but definitely a lot more confidence going forward. It's looking a lot better from them. I think Jamal Shabazz will be quite impressed. He's made the subs, and you've seen the impact. So definitely a good response for the Guyanese. Again, only down 1-0, and 1-0 is never a big lead, but seems as if, I think it's Isaiah Lee, the second half substitute, who's receiving some treatment. Not sure the injury there, but they are tending to his face.
Might have been a blow to his face, Isaiah Lee. Goddard, meanwhile, using the opportunity to show that his jersey change is done. Andrew Samuels does the final inspection. Pretty young cast of referees have been developing in Trinidad and Tobago recently. The likes of Andrew Samuels, they're the 4th official. He's named as the Southern Football Association Referee of the Year last year. Timothy Derry, the man in the middle for this one. He's certainly been on the rise. As well as Ainsley Rochard, who's been one of the young stars at the CONCACAF level. one of the officials tonight. And Karen Myers certainly been accelerating. We've gone from just 3 referees at the CONCACAF level to graduating 10. Major improvement.
Yeah, and so easily and so many times referees get scrutinized for bad decisions, not taking control of games, and the importance of the referee. I mean, how important are they? If we don't have any referee, we don't have any order in the game. And a lot of the times, the good things that referees do aren't highlighted because they come under so much scrutiny.
Now, everybody's okay. It's time to play. Denzel Smith gets play restarted. Andrews finds Baker. Captain Wilson. Heavy touch. Just might have caught Goddard as well. Play continues. Lee. Well, Goddard has remained down at the far side of the field. Just seemed to have been caught late by the feet of the Guyanese player. And, well, in fact, it's Jabari Mitchell who is the player down. Time maybe then for more changes. Another one of the debutants who scored, Ezekiel Kesa, set to come in. Daniel David, one of the young rising stars of Terminex Rangers, will come in as well, replacing Poonanzaran. And Matthew Wooling became the youngest professional at the age of 15 for W Connection. We'll get yet another appearance at the senior level. He replaces Dwayne Mockett.
Good player is Matthew Wooling, of course, in the local top tier of Trinidad and Tobago football. Has come into the Defence Force team midway through the season and has definitely had an impact on them. I think he's been pretty good. Well, as you mentioned, Daniel David, very talented young player coming through of Terminex Laukata Rangers, and an exciting one as well. And of course, this man running on here, Kesa, what a season he's having for his team, Heritage Petroleum Point Fortin Civic, and of course scoring on Monday as well.
Cumberbatch.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitutions for Trinidad and Tobago leaving the game. Number 8, Michael Poonanzaran, and number 10, Dwayne Mockett. Entering the game, number 9, Ezekiel Kesa, and number 16, Matthew Wooling. Substitution, Trinidad and Tobago.
No rush from the Trinidad and Tobago team to apply any pressure. Comfortable at the moment with the 1-0 lead. Goal scored by the man just came off Poonanzaran. Oh, Woodley. He's got one idea in his mind. Have a go at goal, and the crowd certainly appreciating that effort.
And that's why they call him Showtime, James. It doesn't really need much of a big chance to take it, does Kevin Woodley. Any sight on goal, he's looking to shoot.
Goddard. Wooling gets his first touch. Garcia. Space to run into. Given away by Kesa. And committing a foul in the end. Man from Labre, South Trinidad, scored on debut. It's the third highest goal scorer in the league, and well, he might get a second at the international level. Unselfishly finds Kevon Woodley. And the show is in time at the moment. Kevon Woodley, 2 goals, 2 internationals. And money in the bank for Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, it's showtime, James. And Kevon Woodley has converted, assisted by the man we were just waxing lyrical about, actually, in Kesa. 2 substitutes coming on, and the 2 goal scorers from Monday. involved in the goals as well as he hails the crowd. He knows the performance he's put in since coming on the pitch, and well-deserved. Wonderful goal again as we see Kaiser there just putting pressure on the Guyana defense. Does well to win it back. Woodley calling for the ball, finally gets it. Tell you what, James, nearly missed the target, but it kisses the inside of the post, nestles in the net, and Kevin Woodley 2-2.
He spent most of his career internationally playing beach soccer for Trinidad and Tobago, and in only his second full senior international, he's already scored 2 goals at the age of 37. Oh, Isaiah Garcia wanted that ahead of him.
Number 23, Kevin Showtime Woodley.
But if ever there was a case for an inclusion, Kevin Woodley certainly has done himself a huge favor. Wilson. Fair to Guyana though. Haven't played that badly tonight. Some enforced errors, creating opportunities for Trinidad and Tobago, and they've been punished. Certainly something that Jamal Shabazz would have his eyes on. Oh, another man dong. Does look like Isaiah Lee.
Not sure of the initial infringement, James, but he did go down a couple of minutes earlier holding his face and signaled to the physios for more attention as Guyana making a goalkeeper change. They're Cumberbatch making way for
Amari Thompson will come in. That man, Solomon Austin, plays his club football in Trinidad with Caledonia AIA. And Ryan Hackett, the other man coming in. Amos Ramsey, too, will get his appearance tonight. It's a corner for the boys in green. Certainly hope like on Monday they can find a way to get themselves back in the contest with a goal. Well, came close, didn't he? Certainly timed his run well. Simeon Moore couldn't find a way in. And here comes a 16-year-old for Trinidad and Tobago, Lindell Sween. It's part of the Trinidad and Tobago under-20 setup. And he makes his international senior debut tonight. In the top left will tell you of all the changes made, but Guyana will try to get in here. Oh, there's a foot race on. Well, the intention was Kevin Woodley. Couldn't find him in the end, Ezekiel Kesa. Certainly been shell-shocked Guyana. Did start to pick up some tempo in the second half. Second goal just seemed to knock the stuffing out of them somewhat. Wooling. No foul, says Derry. Sween. Showtime just having his pocket picked. Should be easy in the end for Denzel Smith.
The Guyanese, they do want to get back into this one. James, they would have to find a goal sooner rather than later as time ticks down here in the Hazy Crawford Stadium.
Oh, Raymond does well to keep it in. Even better to hold on to possession. Probing pass though, couldn't find Woodley, but he does get a corner. And he's brought the crowd to life, Andrew Raymond, son of EC Port of Spain assistant coach Anson Raymond. So here's a man with experience, Colin Nelson, also a player who's plied his trade over the years in Trinidad and Tobago.
Substitution for Guyana in the 83rd minute, leaving the game is number 3, Kevin Lane. Entering the game, number 21, Cedric Osborne. Substitution Guyana. In number 21, Cedric.
In fact, it is Osborne who has come on instead of Nelson. Tudor. Well, it's giving Raymond a run for his money, and well, Raymond just manages to win that battle. Tudor, on the other hand, using the dark arts.
Well, I think he's had an impressive game as Raymond. Hasn't done anything too spectacular, but when called into action has definitely done his job well. We've seen him get forward a bit more in the first half, just saw glimpses of it a couple of minutes ago, but I think overall it's been a solid performance from Raymond in the left back position.
Trinningham. Garcia finding Woodley. Kesa, intended target. He's had an impressive season this year, Ezekiel Kesa, playing for Point Fortin. Did represent Club Sando last season for making the switch back to his hometown. I think he surprised many. Played highest scorer in the domestic competition. Might be another corner. Suin applying the pressure. No, might be a goal kick. But certainly, for the certain innings of SportsMax moment. And it's Kesa coming on, applying the pressure. And Showtime doing what he does, scoring goals. So that's what he does. Ezekiel Kesa, the telepathic connection, finding the big man, and well, like a good McDonald's burger, they're loving it.
Really do have to be happy for Kevin Woodley though, James, getting that call up and not disappointed Angus Eve at all. I mean, 2 goals in 2 games, can't argue with that. And apart from his goal-scoring ability, James, he's proved to be a real nuisance to the Guyanese defense since coming on as well.
Ruling. Too far ahead for Suin. Simeon Bailey would make his second appearance at the international level. And he will replace Kevin Goddard. So the man from Defense Force making way for the man from Police, who are still in contention for the league crown this season. Well, how about that for skill? And it could be in here. Denzel Smith. Phenomenal. Woodley crowded out. Golden Jaguars could be away. It's a foul in a dangerous area. Ryan Hackett brought to grinding halt. And it will give Guyana a Great opportunity with just a few minutes left on the board to perhaps find a way back in the contest.
Well, he could be in for an exciting end there, James, if Guyana are able to get a goal out of this one. It's a good driving run, Wooling, the substitute, just committing the foul, but it was actually Bailey.
Wooling, of course, slowing him down, and Simeon Bailey, his first act, committing a foul. Oh, talking about a first act.
Simeon Bailey, of course, having an impressive season himself with Police FC in the TTPFL.
Hit with a lot of power. Couldn't find a way through the wall from Ryan Hackett. But he certainly has a nose for goal. And maybe the guy that can open doors. Well, almost found a way past Denzel Smith. Almost not good enough for Simeon Moore.
I actually thought, James, he would have taken it one time on that left foot of his. He decided to cut back, just didn't have the composure to nestle it into the top corner. Denzel Smith unaffected and keeps his clean sheet intact. Well, did come on as a substitute, but nevertheless hasn't conceded since coming on.
Well, close call there for Guyana. And the Soca Warriors will come again to Bailey. Has primarily been the first choice in the defensive midfield position for Police this season, ahead of the likes of Kaleem Highland. Does speak a lot about his quality, Simeon Bailey. Well, Moore certainly has been a thorn in the side of Trinidad and Tobago, but Denzel Smith, he's been a roadblock, and again, he's made himself really big, and he just got a feel for Guyana.
Well, we've been talking a lot about Simeon Bailey, but Simeon Moore in the past couple of minutes has been lively. That's good play from him, just doing that step over, beating Trimmingham onto the left foot. Denzel Smith stands big and makes the save, but you do think, James, again, has to score there, doesn't he?
Certainly good composure from goalkeeper Denzel Smith. Made himself big. Never went to ground. And as a clock ticks down, well, Guyana might walk away from this game feeling that they certainly deserved a lot more. As we approach the 90-minute mark, all eyes will be on the fourth official. Tell us just how much time remains in this contest. Oh, Kisa certainly put on a show for the fans in the covered stands. And fourth official confirms 5 minutes. So what will be added?
I think, James, the frustration from the Guyanese point of view is that they've had their chances, but they've been so clear-cut that it's going to be frustrating looking back at this game and seeing, wow, I really should have scored there, I really should have scored here. But positives to take away is that they have been able to create these chances. There have been some bright sparks within the squad. Simeon Moore coming on, causing some problems early on. We saw Benjamin in the first half, who was a threat to the Trinidad and Tobago defense as well. But at the end of the day, you could create all these chances. It's about getting the ball in the old onion bag, as Tommy Smith would say.
Well, whiskers away from the intended target, but they will keep it alive. Sween looking for Woodley, and Kesa just had his big old swing blocked. Corner. Woodley certainly feels that perhaps he could have done a bit more to get at the end of that. Might just have heard the call of Kesa behind him.
All smiles on the Trinidad and Tobago bench.
Sheldon Bato, former national captain, recalled Angus E for this one. Certainly looking to cement his place back in the team. Wooling's cross, menacing, couldn't hold on the goalkeeper. And quite fortunate in the end, Mari Thompson, and he will get a second bite. Austin. Hackett. And well, the flag is up. And well, Moore must have broken a mirror this week. That's been unlucky.
Yeah, that was a tight call there, James. I actually thought he made a good run there. Did Simeon Moore. It was a beautifully played ball through the midfield into the channel. And Simeon Moore, as the flag was raised, immediately threw up his hands in frustration. And I can understand that. Garcia on the ball as well himself. Has been a standout right back in the TTPFL this season locally. James, I think he's been really good. Defense force, unfortunately for them, unable to defend their title. He has been solid throughout.
Sween wiggling away from trouble, trying to find Raymond. Certainly very highly rated, Lyndell Sween. Just 16 years old. One of the bright sparks locally, already playing at the top level. Caledonia AIA, where has managed to contribute with goals. He did have a good run as well, playing secondary school football with San Juan Secondary. Well, most of the 5 minutes have already expired. Into the last minute of the time that was added. Trinidad and Tobago will be happy to walk away with another victory, back-to-back friendly internationals. Guyana certainly would feel hard done due to the number of chances created for them. Well, that man certainly made his mark. 2 goals in 2 matches for the Caledonia frontman. Oh, that will do here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. 90 minutes has brought smiles to the face of the men in white. And, well, faces of disappointment for the men in green. The fans certainly happy. Boys from Guyana will go home with a lesson. Perhaps some positive takeaways from this match. Well, they've seen stuff to entertain them. And they will head into their World Cup qualifying with some ideas of the errors that they would have made. For Trinidad and Tobago, though, 2 wins, certainly a positive note for them. And at the end of 90 minutes here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, it is Trinidad and Tobago 2, Guyana 0. Time now to look back at the highlights of this match. Guyana did start promisingly, although that shot promised without much delivery from the captain Wilson. Jabari Mitchell did create some delightful moments for that man, Sam. Couldn't make contact. And then almost in a carbon copy of the very first attempt. Did find Sam. Couldn't find direction. Later on, Dwayne Marquette just managed to scuff his effort. The Josiah Chimmingham header. On the other end, Benjamin opening doors to Niles. But he found that man in goal, Aaron Int'l. A harder task than advertised. Then Punanjuan had a look. And although he had confidence, didn't have the finishing touch. And Marquette would get a second opportunity from a set piece. Another one that he failed to connect with. The Woodley would come in. Lee's chance would cause all sorts of trouble for Guyana, who failed to clear the danger. And Punanjuan getting his first international goal as the Soca Warriors took a 1-0 lead. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as they say. And the fans, well, certainly enjoying every bit of it. Guyana were not out of this match for very long, although the ambition might have been high, the skill level certainly not matching the ambition. And then the substitute Kesa would come on, apply the vice grip, and Showtime would apply the kiss of death. His second international goal in 2 matches. And the man they call Showtime putting on a show for the home fans. In came the substitutes, this one in particular more. The old razzle-dazzle made Josiah Chimmingham disappear. But the goalkeeper Denzel Smith wasn't impressed. Big palm, big save in the end. And when Timothy Derry blew his whistle at the end of 90 minutes, Trinidad and Tobago walked away 2-0 winners. All right, the numbers for the statisticians. And Trinidad and Tobago dominated in terms of shots, 11 shots, just 7 to Guyana. Shots on target, well, Trinidad and Tobago were able to get 6, with Guyana managing just 4. Well, there were 14 fouls in this game, 8 of which went to the home team. And the saves were pretty even, 4 saves apiece for the goalkeepers. But at the end of the day, Trinidad and Tobago able to capitalize on their chances 2-0 against Guyana. Tell you what, Leo Chin is standing by. He's got Jamal Shabazz.
Well, Coach, unfortunately, we weren't able to come out with the victory tonight. What do you think went wrong with the team tonight?
Well, I don't think we look at tonight what went wrong. I think the opportunity was a fine one for the players in our league in Guyana to get this exposure. We gave away 2 gifts of a goal, but that in itself is a lesson for us that at this level of the game, the margin for error is very small. You get punished. Maybe in the league at home in Guyana, we may not have been punished for those errors, but it was a lesson for us in this game.
Yeah, Coach, I absolutely agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, these games are to see where the team is at, how you can improve. But I just want to make mention, you did have some clear-cut chances as well, the team. Any comments on the finishing of the side tonight?
Well, our finishing could have been better. Again, the learning curve to understand when you play a premium on clinical accuracy and when you go for power. That composure to know how much time and space, I think these youngsters will benefit from that tonight when they look back at that game and saw the time and the space that they had, that they could have picked the spot. But I was happy that the chances was created, you know, not happy that it was not scored, but extremely happy that even down 2 goals, we were able to continue to play and create chances.
Well, thanks, Coach, and all the best going forward.
Thank you.
Of course, Coach Jamal Shabazz of the Guyana national team, as we await Coach Angus Eve of the Trinidad and Tobago national team. Coach, 2 wins in 2. How pleased are you with the team?
building consistency is always good, but this exercise was more about giving these young players the opportunity. And I thought a lot of them guys take the opportunity tonight and in the 2 games.
Absolutely, and of course heading into the World Cup qualifiers, what is the confidence of the team going into that?
Well, we're trying to make this stadium a fortress. We're trying to not lose games here. If we do that in the World Cup campaign and beyond in the Nations League, we think that we'll get close to qualifying for the World Cup, because that is the goal. That's been the goal since we came on board, and the process has been ongoing, and we're happy in the position we is right now.
Well, thank you, Coach, and all the best going forward.
Cheers. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Liu Chin. Gentlemen, I mean, what a matchup. A lot of lessons for both teams. Man of the match, if you all had to choose one, guys. Let's quick words on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to say Kevin Showtime Woodley.
I mean, Showtime came on and did well, but I think I'm going to have to give it to Poonam Jaron. I think he was good in the midfield. Scored the initial goal as well.
I thought so. Well, listen, guys, we are getting ready for the final match day of the TTPFL in terms of league games, right? Let's take a look at the table and see how tight it actually is. Because AC Port of Spain, they're going up against Point Fortin Civic, and also Miscellaneous Police FC going up against Central.
So I'll tell you what, it's going to be a blockbuster come Sunday. All eyes are on Arsenal versus Manchester City. But right at home, AC Port of Spain versus Police. Just 2 points separating these teams. Right. A win for AC Port of Spain. Perhaps a draw can get them over the line. But Police, they certainly need to win if they are to have an opportunity to take the title away from AC Port of Spain.
Well, for me, the interesting one is in February when AC Port of Spain played Point Fortin Civic. It was a 0-0 draw. Now, if they have a draw and it's 0-0, then Miscellaneous Police FC have the chance to come up and win just based on goal difference. So it really is a tight league this time around. So, guys, we are going to bring you at home the action. Get ready as we bring you live from the grounds in St. James, the barracks, as some would call it. Miscellaneous Police FC going up against Central FC, the Ken Cook ground. We bring you action from 4 p.m. Look out for it on Sunday. Well, guys, we had a fantastic night here. Anything you want to say before we leave?
I think lessons will learn for both these teams. Of course, Angus Eve would have had an opportunity to see some of his players. And of course, getting opportunities at the top level is always good for locally based players. Jamal Shabazz would have said the same thing for his bunch as well, primarily using 21 of his 24-man squad, locally based players as well. So both coaches getting good experience for their Prince charges, so to speak, heading into World Cup qualifying.
Yeah, well, I could only agree with James. It's all about getting experience, seeing where your team is at, and knowing how to progress forward.
Well, June 5th, Trinidad and Tobago take on Grenada as the team aims to qualify for World Cup 2026. My name is Hans Levines on behalf of the entire team. Thank you so much for watching, and we leave you with some great moments of today's matchup.
Welcome to the Eternal City. Welcome to Rome for one of the best outdoor clay court tournaments, the Internazionale BNL d'Italia, and it's on the SportsMax app. Your game, your way. Get the SportsMax app today.